Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Whatever Dog. It's going to be pretty gnarly right now. First off, we're going to start off by talking about what if Jesus had 6 arms?
Dude, that'd be pretty gnarly.
It's a question that we were faced with today, and I think that it's very important, and we need to get some answers. So.
I think Jesus could get around faster doing cartwheels if he had 6 arms.
That's true.
Or maybe running around on the
crab walk.
Yeah, like a crab, like a spider monkey or
so
something.
scary.
Like, you know what I mean?
That'd be so scary.
Jesus be coming at you.
I'm the Son of Man. I love you. Just like
crawling around.
He can
crawls
hug
after
3
you.
people at a time.
I don't think we're gonna be able to unsolve that mystery.
I was gonna say, what if he did? Like, there's no historical record that says he didn't.
Well, there's
That's
paintings. Who has recorded 6 arms on their body right now? Do you know anyone?
Yeah.
Look it up.
I feel like it's
look up 6 armed people.
6 armed people. All right.
I wonder if that's possible.
Armed people.
That would have to be
The power of Google.
the power of Google. Yeah, Google is very powerful.
Google.
Well, it's a traditional Hindu thing. We have a guy in
Will Smith.
banana suit. It is Will Smith.
It's the
Nice. So Will Smith had 6 arms.
Nice.
In conclusion, so it is possible for Jesus to have 6 arms.
Maybe. The second question would be, what would happen if our youth pastor actually cared about us?
Oh, we would probably have our
I was
own.
actually proud of you.
Oh, if he
proud
actually.
name.
So we would probably be able to use the other room for this podcast. Right now, we are.
We have a whole bunch of people in the room.
We have an entire crew of researchers that are dedicatedly working on content and material and jokes. Nothing that we say is actually original. We just have an entire crew of people. You can pan around and
Yeah.
show
I
everything.
did.
And also, if you're wondering, Reagan, our wonderful videographer, is videoing this podcast episode right now, and we're going to put it up on our YouTube, which is going to be
Not our YouTube.
our
Patreon.
Our Patreon. Okay, yeah. And so if you guys want, you can go access that and support us. You know, tell your friends about us, because we're just a couple of hot dudes just trying to make our way in life.
Yes, sir.
Have a podcast and just chill with the boys, you know. So Ethan has a list of questions, I think,
For hot guys.
for hot guys,
All right,
specifically for attractive males.
We're gonna start on question 34. If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called?
Nugs.
It could be called Nugs.
Nug
Nugs
butter.
butter.
It would probably be peanut paste, maybe.
Oh, dude, I
This is
would
like-
not eat peanut paste. That sounds disgusting.
Goop or
Something you see at Sprouts.
yeah.
Peanut paste at Sprouts.
Goobers, isn't that like a peanut-based thing? Isn't that like a snack?
I don't know.
They're like peanuts dipped in chocolate or something. So it's I don't know.
Only a homeschooled kid would know about goobers. Let's see. What is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home?
Oh man.
Well, I saw Nick in his home. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, I've seen Ethan without a shirt on.
That's not weird. That's
just
my
That's
house.
actually just really hot. But
I think the weirdest thing I've truly seen, I'm not gonna call out the person, but I went to their house in elementary school, and their parents were walking around the house, which is normal, but what was creepy was that they would come out in intervals in certain time frames.
what?
Like, mom would come out of her room at 1 and just walk around for a little bit
What?
and then grab a snack and then go back to the room, and then the dad would come out 30 minutes later.
Wait, hang on. I'm a little
And
bit
it wasn't
confused.
something
I'm
that
confused.
I saw. What?
Why did she grab you?
She didn't grab me. She grabbed.
Because you're a snack.
Because I'm a snack. Well, if she grabbed me, that would be very.
That'd be a little bit
strange.
inappropriate.
Well, and then probably second is there was a weird poster in one of my friends' rooms that I don't know if I'm comfortable saying it.
It's okay,
Well,
weird
let's
poster.
just say,
Yeah.
let's just say it's a weird poster of a shirtless dude, and this guy was just.
No, I think we can stop there.
Yeah, he stared at you.
So update on the peanut butter question. So goobers are chocolate coated peanuts. It's actually you can see if you're watching the video. right now. It's a chocolate coated peanut. Just in case you were wondering.
I'd rather just have Reese's.
Yeah, I don't really understand the appeal to like if you wanted to have chocolate coated peanuts, but you know whatever floats your boat, you know.
Okay.
Good material is hard to find, folks.
Yes.
So.
What are fun ways to answer questions like, everyday questions like, how's it going or what do you do?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay. Well, so like for me personally, I like to like if someone asks me a question, especially if it's a yes or no question, you respond with something that's completely irrelevant, like blue or Hawaiian shirts or something like that. Like Aiden asked me a question, just a random question.
How do you get so hot?
Purple.
Nice.
And it just kind of goes with the flow. You know what I mean?
For me, when people say what's up, I always say the sky.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
just
I
a
say
basic.
that too.
That's just a basic move to get people to not like you more, though. So it's like.
I know.
You know?
That's the point. Aiden, you had an answer.
I did. My answer is just answer that question with a question because it annoys the crap out of
So it's
everybody.
like, Aiden, what's your favorite color?
Well, the real question is, what color is that wall?
Oh, that wall is green. Is green your favorite color?
Is green my favorite?
The wall's white.
So then it's actually a really good, like I'm just realizing that's a really good way to keep the conversation going.
For no reason.
Well, yeah, but like
But if
you're-
someone asks
if
you a
you're
serious
struggling-
question, you don't answer with a serious question.
Well, no,
back.
what I'm saying is, like,
what
if
happened to
you're-
your dog? And you're like,
What happened to your dog?
What happened when you drove here, huh? Like-
Well, what I'm saying is that if you're struggling with a conversation with someone, it's actually it's a very good idea to like, you know, get a good flow going.
Now people in our youth group, when they ask us the question, we ask the question back. They know we don't want to talk to them.
It's like, yeah, I'm struggling with this situation. It's a little bit socially awkward for me, so I'm just going to ask another question because.
Questions.
All right, here's another question. If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first?
I feel like there are things that I would say that I shouldn't say on this podcast, but I would be like, whoa, I have more than $20? That's amazing. I'm rich. I can buy a house now, you know?
Buys cardboard, moves out. I think for me, yeah, I'd probably go straight to like a gas station. Like I'd walk by myself because I would think I'd have more freedoms because I'm older, and I'd probably like not understand what a license is and probably get in a car and drive.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
Nice. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be cool.
because when I was little, I always thought when you get a license, like it just meant like
You're an
you're
adult.
16 so you can
Yeah.
drive. Like it wasn't like an actual thing you had to test for. And then like I just found that out maybe like
You
when
become
I was 11.
You become a man, and then you.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ridiculous. Let's see.
But so, where are you getting these questions from? Just out of
This
curiosity. What
conversationstarterworld.com.
conversation starter? What? Give them a plug, guys. You know, if you're having trouble starting conversations, go to conversationstarter.com because they're the real OGs. You know,
Yeah.
we're not even. They're not sponsoring us, which they should, but they're not.
Please.
Go to.
Email official whateverdog@gmail.com.
Oh
So
yes.
yeah,
Oh,
if you want
is that
to,
a-
if you're interested. Oh whoa, there's a moth or something. If you're interested in sponsoring us, supporting us, we're on Patreon, right?
Patreon, yes. It's just patreon.com/whateverdog. Yeah, there's all sorts of tiers. Please support us. 10% of your donations goes towards Samaritan's Purse. So yeah.
Samaritan's Purse, they're pretty legit, very good organization. They
Not gonna
provide.
Not gonna lie, I thought it was like a clothing department. It sounds like something. It's like Victoria's Secret. Like it's like Samaritan's Purse.
Samaritan's Purse.
But it's okay.
10%
No,
of
they-
your donations goes towards women's underwear.
Bringing poor people fancy underwear. It's very, very important. As if you're a homeless person, there's nothing more important than getting good underwear because why not? But in all seriousness, Samaritan's Purse is a very good organization. They provide
They
they provide relief support to like natural disasters like earthquakes and stuff. So
Oh, I don't know why I'm laughing. That was pretty bad.
Earthquakes.
Funny.
But it's pretty legit. Do you have more questions?
Yes. What fictional character is amazing in their book, show, movie, but would be insufferable if you had to deal with them in everyday life?
Kim Possible, easily. I couldn't deal with Kim Possible. She's so annoying.
Bro,
You know?
who's super annoying? All right.
Caillou.
Caillou
was a
was
spoiled
amazing,
brat,
bro.
dude. I know.
That show
Caillou
was
was like a
amazing.
little
Dude, when I was a
douche.
little kid,
He was spoiled rotten. He would cry and like he would like throw things.
Oh, this is Noah. He's coming over.
I hope that whatever made Caillou bald kills him.
That was our youth pastor at Vale Christian Church. This is
Yeah.
just one expression of who we are. If you're interested, if you're in Tucson, Arizona, you should come down and give us a visit and stroke Noah's beard because he really loves that. He likes all kinds of beard stroking. Very big fan of it.
Back to Caillou though. Caillou
Dude,
would literally
Caillou's-
throw a fit in a grocery store and throw all the things out the cart and everything would break and they would have to pick it up. And then they would go home and the mom's like, remember that treat I promised you? Here's a cupcake. And like the kid learns no life lessons.
Yeah.
Literally it's just fun to clean up the mess he made and get a cupcake out
Basically, if you were to summarize modern America, it would be within Caillou.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
of it. So bad.
Hey, but when you're a little kid, that show's a banger.
It was until
Dude,
started
I was
watching
like,
it
low
recently.
key, I want to watch it, but my mom never let me watch it for that reason. And then
Yeah.
I watched one episode, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbearable. I can't stand this.
He was
kid.
annoying. For me, it would probably be Candace from Phineas and Ferb.
Yes, dude.
Because
no
she
one-
was an
no one
absolute
likes-
snitch.
Bro.
No one likes a snitch, bro.
No one likes
Snitches
a
get
snitch.
stitches.
It's weird to think that she was as old as us.
Bro.
Dude, I
And
know.
she
It's
was
like,
like, yeah,
what kind of
nobody
immature
acts like
older
that.
sibling
Yeah.
is like, man?
No, Phineas and Ferb are creating a title sequence. That's it's so stupid, dude. Literally, why snitch? Literally, what you're
You have
representing.
no reason, yeah.
It's
like,
repping the teenage culture pretty bad, dude. Like the kids are gonna be like, oh, teenagers, because I always thought teenagers were, when I was growing up, kind of scary because of Candace. Because Candace was freaking crazy, dude. Candace literally would. Oh, he's.
Are y'all just snitching on a snitch right now?
yeah.
We're not
sir.
snitching on a snitch. We're.
That makes you a hypocrite.
Yep, I am a hypocrite.
It's actually Hippocrite. That's how you pronounce it.
Hippocrate.
All right. What else do we got?
Let's see.
Um,
What would be the hat to end all hats?
the hats.
What
What?
could you wear on your head that would make people stop and what they are doing and stare in awe and
Okay,
amazement?
I think this has already been done. You know those.
Cat in the hat. This boy pulls things out of his hat.
Dude, it's like Mary Poppins' bag, but on his head. You know what I mean? It's like magical. I think it's already been done though, because you look at like NASCAR. Like, okay, here's the thing. There's nothing about NASCAR that I really like, but
Lightning McQueen, dude.
Like,
except for Lightning McQueen, yeah. But
Good job.
the Hicks have done something right in that they made the hat that has like the things that has like straw that goes in like it's a hat. Okay, hang on. It's a hat that has like cup holders and stuff, and you put the cup in there, and then you put the straw.
You're thinking beer.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Water
Like I said,
helmet.
beer helmet, but this is a PG-13 podcast, and neither of us.
so it's root beer helmet.
Yeah, it's a root beer helmet. And so you just like you go to the thing, you don't want to carry your drink and you want to be fashionable, you want to go out hang out with the boys. And so you
guys, you want to go see some cars driving circles?
I
Let's
wanna-
get drunk and
in
go
all,
watch
in all
cars.
seriousness, it's like basically NASCAR is just an excuse to go get drunk and just like mess around. You know what I mean? It's like there's literally no point in watching people race unless you're racing. I don't understand the appeal. And
No,
the same thing
there
is
is
like
no
with golf.
appeal.
Right.
Who watches golf? I'm sorry if you watch
No, not on
golf.
TV, but I watch golf and like if I can go to a golf.
Okay, yeah.
What was that squeak, dude? Go ahead. Anyways, golf, like it's fun to go and like actually watch in real life, like if you watch
Yeah.
professionals, because then you can actually see how far
You're like,
they're
oh my
hitting
gosh,
and, like how good they are.
He just hit that golf ball 650 feet.
Dang, bro.
Whoa.
It's, golf is, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand NASCAR. Like, it's It's just another, like, I feel like most public sporting events are just opportunities to go and hang out with people. Like, no one goes to a high school football game to actually rep their high school football
absolutely.
team. No one, especially in Tucson, Arizona, if you go to Empire High School.
It's so boring.
I don't want to knock Empire's football team, but I'm going to knock Empire's football team
do
because
it. I give you
a
permission.
lot of the cross-country runners are bigger than, like, some of the people on our defensive line. So, you know, it's just a little bit tough.
Back to the hat question though. So you're mentioning root beer, but the real question is, you should add something that sucks in when you urinate.
What?
So it goes up to the top, so you don't have to move from where you're sitting.
I think that's called a catheter.
Maybe that's a thing.
But I don't think it goes to. I feel like that's just a little bit of an unnecessary detail.
But that
But
would
it could-
top
it
all
could
hats
add-
because everyone would stop
It
and be
could
like,
add
yo,
like a black light on top, and so it glows in the dark. You
I
know.
can see scorpions.
Um,
Let's see.
So
If you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes or anything else, how would you prove that you were from the future?
oh man. Well, it doesn't say without a phone.
It says,
It says
or
without
anything
anything.
else.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm big, I'm stupid.
Just makes a bunch of sports bets.
Yeah, just be like.
Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's,
future pretty
that's
much.
it. And then you become a millionaire, and then you just like become Elon Musk, except way earlier.
Well, except,
And you're just like, life is a simulation, bro.
Great
I don't-
VR in the 50s.
I feel like you could come up with like, you know, if you paid attention in chemistry, you could come up with a design for a basic battery or something.
no, I
And be
cannot
like,
do chemistry, dude.
Oh well,
I blow something.
Dude, you're looking at
accidentally.
me and Ethan. You
That's
think we
good.
can do chemistry?
I know that was such a. I just
Well,
realized
okay.
as I said that was such a homeschooled thing to
I
say.
mean, chemistry kind of sucks, but the chemistry between us three
Oh,
is pretty sexy.
that's why we have a podcast. Hit up Whatever Dog. Support us on Patreon because we're all broke and we need money.
No jobs. That was so good the last time, dude.
Yeah, Aiden mentioned his unemployment and it hit me.
Hey, I'm
Last
supposed to get
episode.
scheduled this week, so.
Yeah, he actually does have a job now.
Okay, first think of a product. Now, what would be the absolute worst name for one of those products?
All right. Pantene. Pantene. What's the worst name for Pantene?
I
don't know why,
way
that's
too
the
much
first
to
that-
do nothing.
Yeah, costs way, like I said, costs way too much to do nothing. In case you could, like, I feel like that's a pretty good rep for it. Selena Gomez wears it, so that's just more reason not to wear it. Because I think she was like their salesperson or their
Yeah, she
spokesperson
would like
for a while.
whip her hair everywhere.
She was like, got my hands to myself, ooh Pantene, ooh Pantene, ooh Pantene, and then it was like, you know what I mean? It was just. It was very cringe to watch those commercials. If you have
I gotta admit,
cable and you've seen the Pantene commercial, give us a shout out.
Pantene.
Pantene, please support us.
Pantene, give us a sponsorship because we'd be so much better than Selena Gomez was. Look at my hair. Look at this hair. Zoom in, like way close to the hair.
Bro, that is.
Oh my god.
hottest hair of my
Yeah,
life.
super thick.
Bro.
Thick with 3 C's.
Thick with
Nick's the
5
type of
C's.
guy, when you dunk him in the pool, he gets back up and fixes
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I am that guy. Yeah.
Bro, we can put Pantene in the pool and it just washes every time.
You put it in the
Have
hot
a
tub, so you
pool.
just dunk your head
Have
in
a
the
pool
hot tub.
full of nothing but Pantene. Like, don't even just put the Pantene in. Just like fill the pool with Pantene. Pantene, we are really good at developing marketing and commercials.
Nick would have a commercial.
Please, we're just swimming in Pantene.
Nick
It'd be
would have the
amazing.
commercial where there's like slow, smooth jazz playing, and he'd be wearing a Speedo, and there's candle lights all over the place, and he'd come out and he's like, "Do you
Welcome
use
to
Pantene?"
Pantene. Good for hair and body. Nurtures skin. Makes you look like Selena Gomez.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever like? What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done at
Oh
an
my God.
arcade?
At an arcade?
At an arcade.
Dude, I played this rock band thing. Dude, rock band at arcade.
It's hard.
It's hard and
Okay.
it's just so dumb, bro.
We are-
It makes
we're-
it look so bad.
We're also musicians. We're planning on recording and dropping an album, you know, sometime within
Album.
album
With the P.
With the
Al
album,
Capone.
album within sometime within the next year or so.
We're
maybe.
slowly working on
Yeah,
it.
we're,
slowly working
we're
on
it.
working at a rate of about 1 song per year.
Texting each other the lyrics.
Yeah, but I
single.
don't know where I was going with that. So
He was trying to give a shout out. Okay, for me, okay, I was at an arcade And one time, I don't know if my boy Ethan King's in here.
No, he's not.
Okay,
Oh,
anyways,
man.
I'm in there, right? And we're at golf and stuff. And you know those machines that you drop the coins in and they push the
Yeah.
push coin thing, whatever you want to call it.
Child gamblers.
Yeah, and they like push the coins. Well, there's an alarm that goes off and it's really loud.
Oh, yeah.
And I told Ethan that I dared him to push it and like make it like screech really loud. And he's like, no. And then I pushed it with him and the alarm just went. And we were gone, dude. We were gone. It was so
Yeah,
funny.
because nothing, aside from being suspicious because you pressed the button, nothing is also more suspicious than running in the opposite direction as fast
We
as
were
you can
gone,
from an
dude.
alarm.
Our plan was to book it to the go-karts and drive and just go.
Just drive through the course, drive through the wall, and then just leave with steal the golf carts, the go-karts.
Yeah, so that's number one. I have a few weird arcade memories. That's very.
I don't. Yeah,
Very
that's that
strange.
question seemed really irrelevant to me because I've
Um,
never had like a weird experience of like that was just a weird question.
Well, because I have many answers. One time I confused a person for my dad, and I went up and tugged his shirt. I was like,
no!
"Hey, Dad, look at what I got! Look how many tickets I got!"
I
And he turned around, and he's like, he had a Mexican accent. He's like,
I don't know who you are.
and I was like, "What the heck?" Like he turned around,
Dad, what happened
and he
to
had like
you?
this goatee and everything. He looked exactly like my dad.
What did
with the
they do to
goatee.
you, Dad?
And I turned around, he
Dad!
turned around, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, mister. I thought you were my dad." And I walked away, and then like my dad was over on the other side eating pizza. And I was like, "What the heck, dude?" And then another time.
Cholo doppelganger.
Once-
Cholo doppelganger.
And then there was one other time, and I purposely got the whack-a-mole thing, and I grabbed it with grabbed the hammer with my mouth. This is before COVID, by the way. I grabbed it with my mouth, and when it started popping up, I smashed it with my head. So I grabbed onto the thing, I was like, and
Yeah, it was so much better if you guys go to the Patreon and you watch that video.
Oh, yeah.
Because his face was just amazing right now.
well, so yeah, it was pretty bad because people were watching me, and I don't really care what they think when I do stupid things, but it was kind of embarrassing.
It was a little bit,
because
yeah.
because after this weird dude tried to do it too, and it was kind of gross because he was touching
Yeah.
my mouth with his mouth, basically. Hopefully he doesn't get herpes.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that was in the days when Ebola was a thing. So that
When Ebola and COVID
You know?
meet. Well, this is a strange
it's
meeting.
like a super disease. Alright, so
Dude, that's
Do we-
like 7 of
make-
Jumanji.
Virus baby.
do we have an ad segment in here yet? Or do
We can totally add one right
So
now.
we're
do ad part two.
we are going to leave, do an ad, and then we're gonna come back for about 5 minutes or so ish.
Yeah, probably.
So so we're gonna go to the ad right now.
Bye. We're just gonna get some reviews from a couple of our friends.
Not friends, these are people.
These are complete strangers that we've never met before.
Hold up,
ever.
redo that. I screwed that up.
These are our friends that are gonna only give us good reviews. What the heck? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have our reviews from people that are unpaid.
Yeah, we don't know these people at all. They're complete and total strangers. We have no clue who they are. We just pulled them off the street and asked them to listen to our podcast. And so these
They
are
listen to it.
raw, unfiltered reviews. And it's going to be immaculate, very tasty.
Very, so yes, we give them a week to listen to it, and then they come back to us and let us know what they think of it. This is our boy Judah.
Hello, this is Judah speaking. My review for this podcast would have to be that it's a 2-star
2-star.
podcast
I like that.
because it tastes like bitter butter.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's just too funny.
Too funny.
Yeah, I can't
It's just
breathe.
too darn
I can't
funny.
breathe.
It's
too
a
funny,
safety.
I can't breathe.
It's a safety hazard.
It's terrible.
Dude, these jokes are burning. We're gonna burn down the place.
All right, here's Micah, also another unpaid person that we just got off the street. Has no idea who we are. Just asked him to take a listen. So this is Micah's raw, unfiltered opinion.
I'd say it's a solid 4-star channel. It's very interesting to see 3 almost adults act like 5-year-olds in a corner.
Yeah.
But there is just some strange parts of it. I just don't really understand all of the constant references to Nick's hair. Like on the podcast, I can't see it, so it's just an afro in my imagination.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, he's Bob Ross reincarnate. Every time he walks into the podcast, it's just that serenading sax music just starts playing. No, but solid podcast. Good job, guys.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. So that was 2.
And one more ad from Mike Tyson.
Hi, this is Mike Tyson.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
This is my review of Whatever Dog. I think the podcast is really immaculate. It's really funny. This would have been perfect in the 90s when I was throwing punches and knocking people out. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike Tyson. Third thing. And we have Michael Jackson here too. He's still alive.
This is Michael Jackson here. How's it going, y'all? I think I've been not around for the past couple of years. I was living in Cuba with Tupac and Biggie Smalls, but I just wanted to come back and break my public absence and tell you guys just that I thought Whatever Dog is just one of the best podcasts I think I've ever listened to.
There goes all of them.
And we have one more celebrity, Mr. Bob Ross himself. Hello, guys. Today, I'd just like to mention the podcast. This podcast is it's so pretty. It's prettier than my happy little trees. It's happier than my little clouds. And I just like to say, it might not be visually stunning like my paintings, but hearing it is as amazing as my paintings. My paintings are so fresh, and so is this podcast. And yes, this is what gets me going. This is what probably gets the podcast going. I love my boys Ethan, Nick Didier, and Aiden Sachs. They're all my boys. Ethan dressed up for Bob Ross for Halloween, like me. He created him on the Nintendo Switch as a me. I'm so grateful that my fans, I'm fans of. And I'd just like to say thank you. And thank you to the podcast. And thank you to my happy little trees. Good night, y'all. Good afternoon. Good night. Good morning.
And
Thank you, Noah.
that was Noah's fart making machine. Just a thank you to all those famous celebrities that said hello and gave us a shout out. Now, Aiden, do the honors.
Thank you for listening to Whatever Dog. Now, after I turn this off, I'm gonna go make out with Michael Jackson.